Well, Oliver Patel is a political analyst and researcher at the UCL, European Institute, and he joins me now here in our London studios. Thank you very much, Oliver, for joining us. So, an emotional day for Theresa May.
Well, yeah, she'll be very, very disappointed, obviously, because she began her premiership with one main ambition, which was to deliver Brexit on time, and she failed to do that. She said on a number of occasions that the UK would leave the EU on the 29th of March 2019, and she just couldn't get her deal through in the end. So she'll be very disappointed because I think in the end, history will remember her as the Prime Minister who tried and failed to deliver Brexit. So very disappointing for her.
And these are just the pictures we're seeing. That was her final speech outside number 10 with her husband by her side. What did you make of her final speech there?
I mean, it's not much we haven't heard before. She clearly isn't going to use this as a moment to give some kind of big legacy speech. Maybe when the dust is settled one day, she'll write some memoirs or, you know. But actually, the trend recently, I mean, with David Cameron, he's said very little since resigning as Prime Minister. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what Theresa May does with herself now, because David Cameron really hasn't been active whatsoever. And Theresa May, I've got a feeling she's also going to go very quietly for now, because until Brexit is delivered, I'm not sure if she'll feel like she's able to speak up on UK politics, because while the Brexit issue is so live, I don't think anyone's really going to want to take her that seriously on it.
Well, we'll get back to those importance of final words, actually, on Prime Minister's final speeches. But I believe while Boris Johnson was heading towards Buckingham Palace, and where will be asked to form a new government, there were some demonstrations on the way, as you can see in the pictures. Well, probably one of the challenges he will have ahead wanted. I mean, this is what it shows. These are, I believe, climate change protesters, just as he was heading to Buckingham Palace.
Well, so we don't really know what sort of popularity Boris Johnson has as a Prime Minister, because he was elected by sort of 160,000 people voted in the election for him, and you know, sort of two-thirds of them voted for him. So it's a very tiny subset of the population has voted for him. Probably international viewers will think it's a bit strange that the Prime Minister has been chosen by such a small group of people. Of course, it's important to remember that in the UK, the Prime Minister isn't actually directly elected. The position of Prime Minister is just the leader of the main party in Parliament. So it is a bit of a weird situation, having Johnson kind of installed as Prime Minister by this tiny group of people. So obviously we have no idea whether he's going to be, how popular he's going to be, and whether he has broad public support or not. What we can say is he's a very divisive politician. You know, clearly he does have a base of followers, especially Brexit supporting people who do like him, but clearly he also is hated by many. So, you know, we really don't know at this stage what the state of public opinion about him is, and you know, it's probably not going to get in. This is probably as good as it's going to get for him. You know, he's won an election of people that we knew already loved him, which is Conservative members. If he cannot deliver his promises, then you know his supporters won't stay loyal to him. So this is where it gets interesting.
There's quite a lot of challenges, as we said, and one of those we just saw on the way heading towards Buckingham Palace, which he's actually there at the moment. I believe he has arrived at the palace now, and the Queen, well, where he will be asked by the Queen to form the new government. So he's already headed to Buckingham Palace, as you can see, arrived there, and as we said, on the way there, you can see there Boris Johnson. And as we speak of his past, we're looking over his career, really. As we said, it was built up as an MP, London mayor and foreign secretary. But, I mean, his achievements were many times accompanied by controversy, wasn't it?
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of debate both as to the true nature of his success, and obviously he's made lots of offensive and, you know, controversial comments in the past, whether towards gay people and towards women. You know, he's made a lot of gaffes over the years, and as Foreign Secretary, he had a very, well, one of his gaffes actually was very sort of detrimental diplomatically with the case in Iran. And so we'll see. I mean, a lot of people, when Donald Trump was elected, they were wondering, is Trump as president going to be the same as campaign Trump? So I think now we can ask a similar question. Is Boris Johnson as Prime Minister going to be the same as Boris Johnson as backbench MP or as journalist? And You know, a lot of people thought that Trump would maybe turn into sort of more moderate and more diplomatic as he became president, and obviously that didn't happen at all. So, you know, perhaps with Boris Johnson, we are really going to get a different kind of prime minister, more controversial, not going by the same rules of diplomacy or the political playbook.
So the rise of populist leaders, probably another question we can speak about in the future, maybe in the coming hours as well. But as we said, thank you very much, Oliver. So we will be going in there in the coming minutes. But Boris Johnson is at the moment at Buckingham Palace, and where he will be asked to form a new government. And we will keep you updated with our special coverage. Thank you.